We've got 7 playwrights, 7 directors, approximately 30 actors, and then a crew and designers making up at least another 10 to 15 people, plus 3 live musicians, 2 hosts. It's big. It's really big.
Warm-ups, we're doing warm-ups.
Well, I just wanted to do a 24-hour play festival. And right around the time I was starting to think about doing it, I met Taylor McClellan, who's an LSU alum, and he was talking about wanting to do this week-long Hammond horror festival with a lot of theater and visual arts and dance. And so we sort of combined forces and said, let's start the week-long horror fest with the 24-hour play festival. We had to get the actors needed to submit to us digital picture of themselves, wearing some kind of costume and holding some sort of prop. And once we had all of those pictures, right here today, on Friday, October 21st, at 7:30 p.m., we sent out an email to each of the 7 playwrights. That email contained one of the 7 deadly sins and then 3 or 4 pictures of actors with these random costumes and props. And the writers will now have approximately 7 hours to write a 10-minute play featuring those characters and inspired by that particular sin. Then, in the middle of the night, we'll get those plays, we'll print them out, we'll get the rehearsal spaces ready here in D. Vickers, and then at 7 in the morning, the directors will arrive, they'll get their scripts, they'll get to start looking them over. At 8, the actors will arrive, and then they'll have about 7 hours to rehearse with the actors, to prepare. They'll take a slight dinner break, they'll go to the bar, they'll sort of get a feel for the actual performance space, but then at 7 o'clock the audience starts to arrive, and at 7:30 we do those plays. No scripts, full tech, costumes, special effects, music, everything.
I didn't really know what to expect as far as the turnout, but I was really impressed. Like there was a lot of people in there. I couldn't tell which ones were actors, which were people, since the actors were, mingling with the people. But it seemed like a lot of fun. There were a lot of people in there.
I loved it because you got the audience in perspective and you got them involved.
I think it needs to be done more than just once. I don't think it needs to be just Halloween night.
The first obstacle that I had to overcome was the fact that I'm staging plays in a catering hall, which is something I've never done before.
There's a lot of plot twists and turns that come out later on without giving away the whole thing, but I like new things.
Yeah, it's quite a weird play.
We all have that animal inside us. It's just a matter of tapping into it.
Today was our final dress rehearsal. We had our full cast, thank God. Trey is only performing for 2 nights because that was the original plan. Originally, there was going to be a second play called Then in a Circle, which was written by Robert Lee Jr., and that was supposed to be performing on the Friday the 28th and Saturday the 29th. And because of a lot of various reasons that were out of my control and out of a lot of people's control, we had to cancel the show and extend the run of Wednesday. It's very important to me that everything that happens in the play is, understandable, things affect the audience in the way that I envisioned them to be effective. You're coming into a space with a big black tarp hanging in front of it, and you're buying the ticket and you don't know what's behind the tarp until you cross it.
You've been one of the problems.
Well, the ending here was a little different from how it was. As it's scripted, she doesn't get killed or anything, but he doesn't leave the room. He's just like, the implication is heavily on she's about to be killed or worse before she's killed. And I like the ending here when he leaves, and just leaves her tied up. That's almost worse. She's in this horrible cellar, tied up, and he's just going out covered in blood with a machete. So I kind of thought, what's he doing? He's going to go into the first bar he comes to and start killing people.
Last night, the crown molding dropped about 10 minutes before the show started, so we had to ghetto rig everything with duct tape to make the tarp stay up.
And the light bulbs broke twice, so we had no lamp, so we had to improvise the ending with the overhead lights, which was a little awkward and it didn't really give the effect. But other than all that, it was really good.
As long as it works, you know, it's still a scary ending.
I thought the play was really, really interesting. It was definitely very personal, getting to sit right next to the stage. It was really well written, well performed. I enjoyed it a lot.
I think Ian was not upset. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think he was impressed with what I did with his show.